Hi, my name is Samantha, and today I will be showing you how to properly perform 4 exercises you can do at home. Each of those 4 exercises will have a regression, so how to make it easier, and a progression, how to make it harder. The first exercise I will show you is how to properly do a push-up. The first thing you want to do is grab your fingers and spread them out as far as you can. This will give you a good base up top. Second thing is to get into a plank position and spread out your feet about shoulder width apart. This will give you a good base at the bottom. The third thing you're going to want to do is rotate your elbows so that your elbow creases face forward. If you don't do so, then when you go down, your elbows will go sideways, which places a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and we don't want that. So once you rotate them, when the elbow bends, they will go the correct direction they're supposed to go. So again, fingers spread apart. You stack yourself right on top of your wrist. Make sure you're not too forward or too back. This will place too much pressure on the wrist. You get into a plank position, shoulder width apart, rotate those elbows forward, go down and up. It helps when you take a deep breath on the way down and exhale on the way up. If this is too hard and you notice that you can't keep your plank all the way through, let's work on a regression. So the first thing you can do is just go on your knees, maintain that same plank, still rotate the elbows, go down and up, down and up. If you can't get on your knees because you have a knee injury or something like that, I will show you another regression you can use. So the easiest way to regress a push-up is to simply add an elevation. To make it easier, you're just going to elevate your upper body, and you can choose on how much or how little you want to elevate it. The more of an angle that you're at, the easier it will be. The closer you are to the floor, the harder it will get. So you can simply grab a chair, come here, still have a good strong base, core is still tight, and you're going down and up. As you get stronger, you can decrease that angle until you work your way to the floor. Now, if doing it on the floor is too easy, to make it harder, you simply elevate your feet. So again, you can work your way up. You don't have to start from a chair. You can choose something not as high and then work your way up as you get stronger. So to make this harder, you can just place your feet on an elevated surface, down, up, down, up. The next exercise I will show you is how to do a side plank. A side plank is great for working on the obliques, so the sides of your core pretty much. So you're gonna want to get into a side position like this. The main thing you have to worry about for this one is stacking your shoulder right on top of your elbow. If on this one you're too forward or too back, you'll feel a great pressure on your shoulder, and that can lead to an injury. So really make sure you're correctly lined up down here. Then you're going to want to stack your feet one on top of the other. Once you've reached that position, squeeze that oblique that's closer to the ground and bring yourself up. Make sure that your chest is up and your view is to the front. Don't do any weird things like this. So the straighter and stronger your plank is, the better your oblique will stay engaged. You can bring your arm up, side, whatever feels more comfortable to balance for you. Now, if that's too hard and you're noticing that your chest keeps falling over or you just can't balance, you can either stack your feet like so to make it easier on yourself, or backwards, whatever feels more comfortable. If that still places too much pressure on your upper body and you're not really feeling it on your obliques, go ahead and bend your knees and perform the same thing. This is going to be the regression to the side plank. I like to put my arm up because it reminds me to keep my chest up. Now for a side plank progression. Once a normal side plank is too easy for you and you can just hold this forever and ever, you can start adding some twists. So I like to go in all the way to my inner elbow and go back out. Adding a twist is gonna make your obliques work much harder to keep yourself balanced and upright, so that's how you can make it harder. The third exercise I will show you is how to do a plank jack. So in order to do this exercise successfully, you just need a lot of core stability. At first, your plank jack may feel kind of wobbly, but just keep taking deep breaths into that core and squeeze in that belly button to your back to increase the stability, and you'll feel better in no time. So same thing, fingers spread out, a good base up top to protect your wrists and shoulders. Once you're in your plank position, you're just going to want to hop your feet out and then bring them back in. So sort of like a jumping jack, but you're in a plank position, just like this. To correctly perform this exercise, you want your hop to be as minimal as possible so that your core is doing most of the work. So you wouldn't want to do huge hops like this where it's just your feet bouncing up and down. You want to squeeze your core and bring your legs out and in without disturbing your plank so much. This is where you really have to squeeze the core, and you'll feel your whole core burning up. So for a regression for the plank jacks, if that is too hard at the moment, don't worry, you can just do it one at a time, like so. Your core is still gonna work, you're gonna get stronger in no time, and you'll be able to do plank jacks soon enough. Now, if a plank jack is too easy for you, you can do the complete version where it's both hands and feet. So you get into a nice and strong plank, make sure that core is tight, and you're gonna jump out and in. My hands and my feet are moving at the same time. Be really careful with these, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on your wrists. So if a plank jack is too easy for you, I would honestly recommend just adding more time or more reps rather than adding the upper body into it. But if your wrists feel fine and you like it, then you can totally add both the hands and the feet into your plank jack. Now for the very last exercise I will show you is another plank one, and it's going to be plank up downs. This one's great for building up that core strength in my opinion. So you're going to want to get into a shoulder width apart stance, same thing, stacked, elbows on top of wrists, shoulders on top of elbows. When you're here, you're going to want to alternate down and up. So I just went down with my right and up with my right, and now my next one is going to be with my left, up with my left. Same thing for this one. The more movement that you have in your hips and your shoulders, it means that you're not really squeezing tight enough. So at first, it's okay to have movement until you get used to the exercise, but once you get better, try to work on not moving at all. It should be as sleek and as balanced as possible. Ooh, I'm already sweating. So to make this easier, just like the push-ups, you can just elevate your angle. So when you elevate your upper body, you're gonna make it easier. When you elevate your lower body, you're gonna make it much harder. So here I brought a fold-up table I have that I usually use as an elevation. This is, by elevating your upper body, you're just gonna reduce the amount of body weight that you have to work with. So basically making yourself lighter. So same thing, exact same form, but now it's just a little bit easier because I don't have to work with my whole body weight to do so. So to make it harder, like I said, you just elevate your lower body. This makes you heavier because you just have to work with more gravity going against you. So same thing, feet are elevated. I'm stacked right on top of my wrists. And those are plank up downs. So those are the 4 exercises I wanted to show you today. All of them are great core exercises, except for the push-ups. Those are a great core exercise as well, but they work on your chest, your arms, a little bit of your back, and they will just build your strength overall. So if you want to make it into a workout, all 4 of these will make a great core workout. You can do 30 seconds on, 30-second break, 30-second on, 30-second break, all the way through the list until it's a complete circuit. Take a short break and repeat that circuit 3 or 4 times. As you get stronger, you can make the times longer and your rest times shorter, so maybe 40 seconds on, 20-second break, then 50 on, 10-second break, up until you can do a minute of each of these exercises without stopping. Thank you for watching and stay safe.